Hello my friends and welcome back. It's Wednesday my dudes. Happy Wednesday to you, the middle of the week. And it is a very happy Wednesday for 205 Ukrainian defenders who have been in Russian captivity for months and years. Some of them actually were defenders of Azovstal in Mariupol. And here we can see a video of a Ukrainian little girl cheering them. 3 busloads of Ukrainian defenders being escorted back to Ukrainian homeland. Look at that. 205 of them, they're all heroes. They have suffered, in every one of their stories, they have lost massive amount of weight. You can see they have been tortured. One specific commander, I remember, he weighed 120 kilograms, as much as I do right now, when he was taken as prisoner. Now that he was released, he was 60. Losing 50% of his body mass, and the stories are horrific. These guys are truly lucky to be welcomed back to Ukraine. But not all of them. Russia still holds thousands of Ukrainian fighters, and in this instance we see this man returned to Ukraine, but he's talking to a woman who is still waiting for her husband. He's alive. He was in the cell with me. He's alive and well. He is alive and well, and look at it. She doesn't have any contact with her husband because Russians don't allow to call home. Ukrainians, on the contrary, allow and enforce Russian prisoners of war to call home because that's the fastest way to change the Russian mindset in Russia when the wife who has been getting the LADA payments and everything suddenly gets a call from her husband in Ukraine who says that they're feeding him 3 times a day and treating him well. This is one of the biggest weapons against Putin regime. But Ukrainians in Russian captivity are not allowed to call home. Is he okay? He's fine. He's hanging in there, he's staying positive, and you can see the woman is very happy to hear that because she has no idea if he's alive. How well is he? Has he lost his legs? Nothing. No information. And now this info comes through. We also have a video of what Russia is getting back because it's exchange of prisoners. In this instance, it's Vasha Anatoly Valentinovich. He's 60 years old and he went to fight for Russia in 2024 and he was captured almost immediately. He says that he was 7 months in captivity in Ukraine and he went to war because of money, but he lost one of his legs. So now he's saying everything he earned while fighting for Russia is going to get a prosthesis for his leg. So was there a point ever to go? Not really. He didn't make any money off of it, but he lost his leg. The good news continue, my friends, because Ukrainian troops have once again crossed the Ukraine-Russian border in Kursk, in another area. It is the very same area Russian Volunteer Legion, the legendary Russian Volunteer Corps has struck before. They have made recon attacks into this area. It's the Kursk villages of Tyotkino and Glushkova. In 23 already they crossed into these villages and then crossed back again. Basically shock and awe in a Ukrainian way. You go, you mess everything up, you pull back out again. Russian emergency services in the Kursk Oblast have ordered the evacuation of Glushkova due to complicated situation. The AFU control of the town would mean that Tyotkino and the western part of the Glushkova district are lost or gained by the Ukrainians. See, this is the state border, the black line here. This is Tyotkino and this is Glushkova. This area has been fought over for the last 2 years. Ukrainians are not usually there to just stay. They're there to hit and run, go over, mess everything up, pull back out again, minimizing their losses, maximizing the confusion of the Russians and the losses of their equipment and manpower. And this is the same thing that's going on right now. Here you can see another map showing it more closely. This is Tyotkino and this is where Ukrainians crossed the state border, and by the way, we have videos of it and it's priceless. It's priceless because this one is filmed from a Russian drone command point on the ground, and they have a recon drone up in the air and they're filming Ukrainian mine-clearing vehicle crossing the state border, and they're looking at the vehicle in real time saying, oh my god, we're done, we're screwed. They can see the Ukrainian mine clearing vehicle clearing up Dragon's Teeth, clear a hole or pathway through the mines, and the vehicle is followed by more Ukrainian armored vehicles and troops. Altogether, it seems like up to 50 troops cross the border. As I said, it's not any kind of occupying or liberating force. It's a hit and run tactic, and it has worked really well for the Ukrainians. We can see the Russians just watching how Ukrainians penetrate their very expensive defensive line. Here's the Dragon's Teeth. This is the pathway of the mine clearing vehicle. Right now it penetrated the state border, penetrating deep into Russian rear areas. Not really, not deep. And not rear areas, frontline areas. See, it's crossing. This is the border. It's crossing it right at this instance, very slowly, clearing the mines if there are any. I don't see any explosions, so there weren't any mines here. Okay, there was a slight explosion here. You can see it. Boom. One mine clears. And now Russians are targeting them with the artillery, and as you can see, not very precise, not hitting them. For some reason, FPV drones on the Russian side are not present right now. And as I said, up to 50 troops, Ukrainian troops, crossed the state border. With that amount of men, you don't do much except confusion and hit and run. That's all you can do. You cannot stay there for long if you have 50 guys only. Talking about confusion and hit and run, voila, we have the outcome of this incursion. Big news. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine report today that the Ukrainian Air Force carried out a precise airstrike near the village of Dyotkino, so the very same area in Kursk region, destroying a Russian unmanned aerial vehicle control center. One of the similar control centers we just watched a video from. This is the UAV control center. As a result, around 20 drone operators and other technical personnel were KIA, and their equipment was also destroyed. Now this is what I call a very big wow view for Ukrainian Air Force. My friends, today I would like to introduce you to MyHeritage, the leading global platform for family history. They have launched a brilliant new way to preserve your memories in a timeless manner. This is my stories, in a form of a hardcover book. And I intend to gift this book to my wife. In this book she can find childhood stories and photos of both of us until we got married. Our two lives being united through stories and photos in this beautiful form, so we can cherish the memories for years to come. And it was awesome to create. MyHeritage sent me a weekly email to inspire me to write down stories I cherish and add photos with them. And then they turned it into this perfect little book I can give to my wife. Since it is the best gift there is. I mean, let's be honest, this is perfect for your spouse, parents, grandparents, or friends, or anyone you love. By the way, Mother's Day is coming up. This gives you a perfect chance to do something truly meaningful to your mother this year. Scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description below and use the code Artur25 to get 25% off on your My Stories order. My friends, there is no better gift than my stories. Your loved ones will cherish it for years to come. Thank you MyHeritage for sponsoring today's video. Now my friends, I'll show you one of the coolest videos out there about the war. This came out 2 days ago and it's about the Magura V5 and V7 attacks that we saw almost a week ago against Black Sea coasts and Crimea. This is a Russian patrol boat destroying one of these Ukrainian maritime drones. Why is it so cool? Well, you can see the panic on the Russian patrol vessel. This is the Magura V7. Why it's a V7? Because it has an anti-air missile attached to the top of it. You will see it later. And it's chasing a Russian patrol boat who is full throttling away from it. Otherwise, if they connect, there will be a huge kaboom. Look at that. They're heavy machine gunning it. 2 of them. They cannot hit it. It's still coming. It's very close. Boom, you can see it here. It's chasing them. And it hit the wake of the patrol boat, slowing it down. And now a Russian troop gets a grenade launcher and tries to hit it, but misses. You can see the connection to the water here. The grenade missed, but in the end, the Magura was destroyed, making a massive kaboom. As I reported in the previous video, all of these Magura, three of them, all of them were destroyed, but they managed to destroy 2 Russian Su-30s, so it's a very good return on investment. And here you can actually see 2 of these drones. This is the first one, and this is the second one behind it. 3 of them all together were sent out, destroying 2 Russian Su-30s, as I said already. And it's this very instance, it's the closest it got to this marine drone. And you can see the anti-air missile right here, looking all nice and kingly. Russians on the Ukrainian border are rehearsing a very fast deployment of how to close the roads connecting Ukraine and Russia. And in this instance, we can see them doing it. The guy on the right runs back to bring some anti-tank mines. The guy in the front opens a hatch on the ground and throws these metal spikes on the road, so no kind of rubber-tired vehicles cannot cross this road. Now, at the same time, the guy in the back is dragging anti-tank mines on the center of this road. Bada beam, bada boom. What was that? Well, my friends, I'm glad you asked. This was an improper way to handle mines. Whatever army you are from, it's an improper way to do that, and this is the outcome. They blew themselves up, they're demilitarized, or they smoked extremely carelessly in this instance. 9th of May is coming up, it's in 2 days, and Ukrainian drones for the second consecutive night attacked Russia and Moscow. 2 nights in a row, drones flew to Moscow. This video is from Moscow. They cannot see anything, but they can hear the drones, and civilians are filming it and posting these videos online. And Putin don't like that. That's why, we'll get to it later, they took a massive measure against it, so civilians wouldn't post all this stuff online. But here's another instance to you. I don't know if you remember in the previous video, this exact same map looked towards Crimea. They sent over 100 drones, Ukrainian drones, to Crimea and Black Sea coast. Well, last night they sent them towards Moscow and the bordering oblasts. Hundreds of drones. Massive attack for the second consecutive night. All major airports were closed in this line of sight of the drones, and this video comes from one of the planes up in the air which cannot land because there's drone threats over the Moscow airports, and this is their captain speaking, and he cannot find the button where to speak to the passenger, so she's unaware that he's already recording and speaking to them, and this is what it looks. I'm not going to read it to you, read it yourself, the subtitles are here, but this is their captain speaking. Oh my god. Everybody is hearing this. Imagine your captain speaking like to your passengers. I apologize. Oh my god, this is the Russians, man, they cracked me up. Alright, getting back serious, because actually for the second consecutive nights, as I said, drones reached Moscow. And the furthest actually, drones reached Moscow in this specific apartment building in this area. One of them was shot down, and it was only 11 clicks from Kreml, where Putin is. What is it? Yeah, 11 clicks. So they're getting very close, uncomfortably close. And in 2 days, there's gonna be the biggest parade in Moscow. And right now, drones are connecting, hugging the apartment buildings in Moscow. What air defense doing? You want more proof? I'll bring you more proof. Again, drones flying in Moscow, civilians recording it, filming it, putting it all up. Here is yet another clip of a Ukrainian looted drone. It's a very long-range drone which makes a magnificent kaboom flying over Moscow. And Russia is trying to shoot them down. Putin is asking heavily what air defense doing, and then air defense is doing this. In Moscow, they're trying to shoot down these looted drones with their S-300s, and one of the missiles, as it happens, connected into this apartment building. I would call this a dildo of consequences, and it rarely arrives lubed. this is a dry one. Yeah, it just went through. You're living in your panelka, praising Brezhnev, whatever you do in these panelkas, and suddenly Russian-owned dildo of consequences arrives in your apartment building. Well, that's what you get for living in Russia. Yeah, the Russian authorities, they don't like people posting all these attacks. The truth is, 9th of May is coming up, and air defense is fully incapable of dealing with these drones. For the second day in a row, over 100 drones sent out, and they cannot shoot them down. So what they decided to do is just cut the internet. I kid you not. They slow down or cut the internet fully, so much that the ATMs are even not working. That's gonna be until the end of the 9th of May. Most internet is cut. You cannot get out money from the banks. You cannot make card payments, so you have to pay with cash, but you cannot get cash because the ATMs are not working. Yeah, don't ask me. It's a crazy situation there. They do it because then people cannot post videos of Ukrainian drones connecting to Moscow all the time. Alright, my friends, you know what time it is. If you don't, welcome to the channel, because you must be new here. On this channel, I gotta give credit where credit is due, and this is the monthly Buy Me a Coffee members. Wherever you're from, I'm gonna butcher your name with my Estonian, Baltic / Nordic pronunciation. Toitje and Tim Maken. Harri Kunts, Jesse Edvin Peaupre, Tani Kiles, Brian Valsk. Thank you to each and every one of you. There's 5 of you. If you like my channel, become a monthly member of Buy Me a Coffee. Links in the description below. And I'll be butchering your name in a way even your grandchildren will remember it. Okay, my friends, now we jump to Crimea because SBU has given us another godly, beautiful video of the Crimean safari. They are very good in sending their drones to Crimea, and for some reason Russians keep bringing in one after another new air defense systems into Crimea, although SBU is destroying them methodically every month, releasing these beautiful videos for us. In this instance, we can actually see a Russian air defense missile being shot out and missing the drone. Look at that, missed the drone, because possibly the drone's signature is too small for the missile to connect. It missed it, revealing its position. Of course, they knew it before. And you can see, slide in here, you can see the drone here. And this is a Pantsir S, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Pantsir S system with the radar. Demilitarized. And we have another cluster of vehicles demilitarized. Radar systems, support vehicles, launchers, everything taken out one by one. It's a beautiful Crimean barbecue video, my friends, and I'll keep them coming your way to make your day. For the sake of the truth, I have to report this apparently. Now, I cannot confirm it, but we have videos about it coming from the Russian side, so just make your own research, please, on this. But apparently, Russians did destroy Ukrainian HIMARS systems. Russian forces have destroyed it with a fiber optic FPV drone 30 clicks behind the line of contact. The information is very different from different sources. Some say it's 10 clicks from the zero line, some say it's not even a fiber optic but a regular FPV. But let's just watch the video together and you put your opinion in the comments below. Now, this video comes from the Russians. Here they see the HIMARS launcher shooting at a target, launching what, two missiles. Now they're shoot and scoot tactics with the HIMARS, so they shoot and they immediately leave. Most modern artillery do this. That's the HIMARS, they have located it, and that's the FPV connecting into it. And there's a recon drone up, and that's another FPV connecting into it. Now, this is not a fiber optic drone, it's a regular FPV, which begs me to the question, why don't they have a massive amount of jammers in the support vehicle, creating this bubble around the HIMARS? Because yes, fiber optics I can understand, but this is not a fiber optic drone. You can see the screen flickering, and it looks like a regular FPV the Russians use. And it's connecting to the HIMARS. So for me, it's a lot of questions. First of all, why was the HIMARS so close to the zero line? Secondly, why were Russians able to hit it with a regular FPV? Should have been jammed to oblivion. That's the 2 main questions I have. Fiber optics, that is understandable because you cannot do much about it except for kinetic means. Yeah. Please put your opinion in the comments. It's a very painful loss for the Ukrainians, very painful. But now we're going back to the Russian losses to make your mood good again, because this is Saslon radar station. Very rare, very expensive. This Russian radar system can detect targets at a distance of up to 300 kilometers, simultaneously track up to 200 objects, which is, like, if you have a radar, the more objects it can track simultaneously, the more expensive it gets. That's how it is, pretty much. And apparently has never been hit during the entire war, because it's a naval radar. But in this instance, it's deployed to close to the zero line, because Russians are lacking this kind of equipment. They will use everything they have. And we can see it moving, and then we can see a Ukrainian FPV. Now, in this instance, again, it's a regular FPV. It's not the fiber optic. I would ask the same question from the Russians. Why don't you have jammers around this such an expensive radar system? Now, I know if you jam, you cannot use the radar, but at the time you understand you are chased by an FPV, you can switch on the jammers and switch off the radar. You can, switch them in between. But in this instance, Ukrainian regular cheap FPV connects to the radar system. At the back of it where the expensive part is. So yeah. The engine is good, but the radar itself is not so good. Knocked out cold. We got another video from the Russians doing what they do the best, crawling through gas pipes. This was not only one instance when they did this 2 months ago with massive casualties. Here is another video of it, and it turns out they use the pipes for the logistics, since they cannot be seen from inside the pipes. This guy is a camel. A camel in the Russian army is human logistic vehicle, pretty much. They don't even have a weapon, they just carry stuff forward and backward. They do these trips many times a day. They're just a camel. They carry around stuff, logistics, ammunition, everything, water. And this guy is a camel in a gas station. And he says 3.5 clicks of crawling. And that will... It's an exercise 4 times a day. He does it, and it will F up your back. I can imagine that. I can understand why they do it, because Ukrainian drones cannot see inside the pipeline, so you're pretty much protected until you come out of the pipeline. Now, my friends, I will report with great pleasure that Ukrainian forces have eliminated Colonel Abdulaziz Shikabidov, commander of the Russian Armed Forces Elite 76th Guards Air Assault Division VDV. They are the airborne troops, and they're stationed, their headquarters in Pskov, which is only 300 clicks from where I'm now. It's right on the Estonian border. These guys have been trained their entire existence in Pskov to attack the Baltics. That's their only reason of existence. And that's the leader of the guys. Now, these were the guys who were in Bucha. You know what happened in Bucha? Well, they were the 76th Pskov Air Assault Division who did the things that happened. I cannot name them, sorry, but you know what I'm talking about. So with great pleasure, as I said, Ukrainian forces have eliminated this war criminal. And these guys would be coming to Estonia if not for Ukraine. So I know what they're fighting for in Ukraine. This concludes my Russo-Ukrainian news. We go to Europe and USA now. I mean, it's all connected, but just changing the geographical areas. We go to Germany because Germany now finally elected officially the new chancellor. It's gonna be a mess. And with the first vote, it actually failed. For the first time in almost 80 years, they didn't vote the chancellor in the first vote. They had to do 2 votes. But in the end, all was good, and Merz was sworn in as Chancellor of Germany. Now Merz is pro-sending Taurus missiles to Ukraine. Merz is very European-minded and anti-Russian and pro-Ukraine minded. So he's a very, very good Chancellor to have in Germany. But it was a close one. It was a very close one. We can say that the forces of light have won in Germany, but they're about to lose in Romania. Because in Romania, a presidential election is going on right now, and May the 18th will be the final date where the president will be elected. And right now, it looks like, by the statistics, that a very, very pro-Russian candidate is going to win. He got 70% of the votes in the preliminary elections, and his name is George Simeon. would be the first Romanian president to be of a Gypsy or Roma origin, which is not an important fact of its own, but he's very pro-Russian. That's an important fact. George Simeon, the far-right candidate that won the first round of Romanian presidential election 2 days ago, just announced he'll be naming the clinically insane pro-Russian Călin Gheorghescu for prime minister in the event he becomes president. Now, so, if we have Simeon as the president of Romania and Călin Gheorghescu as the prime minister, then, my friends, Romania is led by two very friendly leaders to Putin. And Romania is a NATO member, fielding NATO troops and NATO bases, a country then led by Putin's allies. That would be a massive defeat for NATO, European Union, and the Western world in general. And that would be a massive victory for Putin. 18th of May will show it to us. It's between these two candidates. One of them, on the left, is PhD in mathematics, who graduated from Sorbonne, and he faces the ex-football hooligan banned from entering Moldova and Ukraine, Simeon, right here. I don't know what's up with the Romanians. They get a massive amount of money from the EU, like massive, we're talking tens of billions, and they want to elect a president who is anti-European Union, although their country is getting tens of billions of euros from the European Union. I cannot understand it. It's like shooting yourself in the face 10 times. It's very hard for me to understand. And yes, I have to show you the map of Putin's allies in Europe. Belarus, of course, puppets. Then we have Slovakia with Fico. Very bad. We have Hungary with Orban. They are very, very friendly with Putin and they are anti-European Union. Although both of the countries have been getting, again, tens of billions of euros for infrastructure projects from European Union. Like this massive amount of money that they wouldn't have. That builds schools and hospitals and roads. I cannot understand why I would throw this away. And now Romania, I mean, the vote will still happen, everything is possible, but if Romania falls, then Putin has his friends back together, which not very good. My friends, look at this video. USA-Ukraine mineral deal. I made an in-depth analysis of what minerals Ukraine actually has, who wins from them, what the United States is winning, what Ukraine is winning from the mineral deal signed by Zelensky and Trump. Everything will be explained in the video, but it's only for members. So if you're not a channel member, click the link in the description, become a YouTube channel member. It's only 99 cents and you will get 4 extra in-depth analysis videos per month. I'll see you there, my friends. Until my next video, as usual, Slava Ukraini and bye-bye. And my friends, don't forget to click the link in the description below and use the code Artur25 to get 25% off on your My Stories order.